Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Zach, and we're playing catch up today. That's what's happening. It's Tuesday, and yesterday on Monday I played catch up all day. Not catch up, but I was catching up with everything, emails and comments, messages, and that was intense. That took a lot of work. That's all I did all day yesterday for like 8 hours straight, I feel like. So that's why I didn't live stream yesterday. I just got back into town on Sunday from InfoSec World in Orlando, Florida. And if you guys don't know, I'm from the Chicago area. So it was it's a bit of a journey. And everything went awesome at InfoSec World. Lots of fun there, lots of interviews. There's actually an interview that I have to export right now because I forgot about it. So I'm gonna start exporting that while we're doing this. But I wanted to catch up with you guys, see what's going on. I have a few things to kind of go over because it's been a while and there's lots of things happening lately. One of the big things I think that I wanted to cover today was Facebook. I'm sure, you guys all know about Facebook and what's happening with Facebook and everybody's data being exposed in some way or used or just captured in general. And that's a very interesting topic there because I did a video, I don't know, a couple months ago, maybe a month ago, where I talked about privacy and how nothing is private anymore. And that's not me being like a conspiracy theorist. That's not me just, I don't know, sharing my opinion necessarily. I think it's fact. And you see that with like Equifax. Now you kind of see that with Facebook, and there's been other, other things that have happened where data has leaked out, or you think your data's safe and it's not. But Facebook just happens to be, one of the biggest kind of examples that we could use, especially since this has just happened. Everybody's all up in arms about this and super upset because they think Facebook is, is not going to share their data, and it's not going to affect them in any way. But Facebook's a free service. Like that's number one. Like that's like the first thing that I want to talk about, like for sure. If you are sharing your private data on a free service, that's all on you. That is all on you. I don't care what terms of service any of these companies have. When it's a free service and you're sharing your private data on there, and if you're ever worried about your private data, you should never share any type of private things on a platform that's free. And you should never assume that these free platforms are going to protect your data 100%, because that's just laughable. I mean, honestly, it's much like Gmail and things like that. Free service.
The FTC confirming that it does have an open.
Is your data safe on there? Yeah, maybe, possibly. But that goes back to the video that I created where I talked about, you do a Google search and next thing you know, you're in your Gmail and you're getting ads for whatever you searched in Google, that necessarily couldn't be like a privacy issue per se, but it kind of is. A little bit is. You do a completely separate search, and then all of a sudden you're in your email, checking your email, and then you get ads in your email about whatever it was that you searched for. So that, again, that's just kind of an example of a free service that your data is not necessarily being protected in all reality. Binary numbers. Yeah, when you don't pay for a product, you are the product. That is 100% true. And hello to people in the chat. Sorry, I didn't ignore you. I'm just kind of going on my little tirade here. Sorry. But yeah, that's just a perfect way to put it, though. You are the product. You sign up for a free service. I never trust my data with free services. And that's kind of what I think everybody has to go with nowadays, and they have to understand that your data, everybody wants your data. Everybody wants every little bit of information they can get about you because it's valuable. And a lot of times that's, whether they're serving ads to you that specifically relate to, what you've done, what you're looking for, things like that. People want that data. What's going on, that Kashmiri guy? But yeah, so data is just huge right now. Everybody, I think, in the old days, always worried about wars, like World War III happening, and there was World War II, World War I. Then everybody kind of worried about, like, then there was Vietnam and all that stuff. But everybody worried, and then obviously Iraq, I guess. But everybody worried about wars in that aspect. And now I think the biggest war is on data. Everybody wants data, and they're fighting for data, as much data as they can get on everybody. And again, that's not necessarily conspiracy theorist type of view, because I wouldn't say I'm a conspiracy theorist by any means. It's fact. It's what I've noticed in the last, 10 years or so, really paying attention to how data is captured, controlled, and delivered. So that's just one big thing I wanted to cover. It's ridiculous. People are so upset about it, about Facebook especially, and the Cambridge Analytica or whatever, Analytica, yeah. I'm looking over here on my other screen, but everybody's up in arms about it, and they shouldn't be. They can be upset about it, I guess, but it's their own fault. If you don't want your data out there, don't sign up for a free service. Get off of Facebook. Get off the internet. Just don't even go on the internet, period, if you're worried about your data. What's going on, Matthew? Yeah. Physical wars these days are just to take your attention away from the real cyber threats. Wag the dog. If you want your privacy, then own a flip phone. That's perfect. Although I don't believe your data and everything is still private there, because they're able to capture text messages and calls and things like that. So, but at least you can't get out to the internet on there. I mean, you could, but nobody wants to do that from a flip phone. And yeah, there's no apps. There's not apps like everything else where you have to give them control of everything. Yeah, somebody mentioned like the Facebook stock. That is definitely going to be going up and down for a while, I think. For at least probably a couple weeks. Their stock is just going to fluctuate. But overall, I think I saw something yesterday about advertisers pulling out of Facebook. And it's 100% true. That's awesome. I'm glad they're doing that. It's still not going to fix the problem. Nothing is ever going to fix this problem anymore until maybe there's more regulations in place for instances like this. So that is probably going to take a while to actually get like real regulations put into place. But I don't know that would even control or fix the issue at hand. So yeah, it sucks for a lot of people, but it is what it is at this point. So that's all I wanted to cover on Facebook. It is 11:49 a.m. here. The next thing I kind of wanted to talk about, and I talked about this a little bit the other day when I did like a live stream, and that's InfoSec World. InfoSec World 2018 in the good old Orlando, Florida. It's actually Lake Buena Vista, Florida. So it was on the grounds of Disney World. It happened at the Disney, was it Contemporary? I can't even remember the name of the hotel it was at. It was at one of the hotels. on Disney. What's going on, SG? InfoSec World was amazing. Monday, Tuesday, and half of the day Wednesday last week. Very interesting. It is the first conference that I've ever been to. And the thing about that is I've worked for places that never wanted to send people to conferences. Fine, no big deal. I don't care. I decided that this is what I do full time now, I'm going to send myself to a conference. And I worked some things out with Misty, Misty is the company that puts on the InfoSec World, and went down and interviewed 5, 6, 7 people at the conference, all in security. Exporting one of those videos right now his name is Giovanni Vigna. Yeah, he's Italian. It was really awesome interview with him, because he's a professor at one of the schools in California, and he's got his PhD and everything. So he's a doctor. It's kind of funny, but that was really interesting interview with him. He talks about what he was doing in the field, working for a college, and then he created a company called Lastline with somebody else. One of his, maybe I think was another professor or something. But he went in detail about that. He talked about security, what you guys need to know to get into the security field, what you need to know about getting into the IT field. It's always good to get that information and hear other people's thoughts on, what they think you should do to get into this wonderful IT field. And let's see. Oh, there's people in the Facebook. What's going on, Facebook chat? I'm sorry I missed you guys. I always forget about the Facebook chat. That's my fault. So anyway, there was an interview with him, and then I did an interview with Clint Gibler. That was by far my favorite interview that I did the whole entire time, and it was a pretty long interview, so that's going to take me a while to edit. But yeah, Clint Gibler, awesome guy. Totally awesome guy. He works obviously in the security field, and he goes over some of the different types of jobs in the security field, which was really, really awesome. Like, that is like extremely valuable information, and gives you, just kind of like the little backstory, back end of how all that works, what he did, and things like that. We're gonna do a full video for all of these, because breaking it up never seems to go as planned. The only thing that I might break up in that interview that I did with Clint is where he actually talks specifically on each different type of job. I think that might work out really well for its own video. So we might do something there. But again, it was the best interview. Very, very informative, and he's very passionate about the field, very passionate about security. So it was really easy to talk to him. And then him and I hung out actually a few times after the interview and at the conference and things like that. And that was really cool. So there was that. I interviewed Cody Mercer. He's from Malwarebytes, and he provided his backstory. He was in the military, and then he got into cryptography from being in the military, and yeah, talked about cryptography, which was interesting. He talked about how he got to where he is now with Malwarebytes. You guys may have seen the video that I put out the other day, on Sunday I think it was, where I did an interview with other people from Malwarebytes. So Malwarebytes was a big thing over there for me, I guess. It was a lot of fun getting to talk to everybody, really. The whole reason why I went down to InfoSec World was to talk to people and get their story, get their thoughts on what people could do to get into the security field. And every single one of them, some of them actually didn't say it on camera, and I wish they would have, but quite a few of them said, it doesn't really matter what you're doing necessarily. Anybody could work in the security field. And one of the best examples, and I think I said this in the video I did the other day, was there was a fisherman. I think he was from Norway or something. I don't know. All he did was fish. Got out on a boat, went fishing in the sea, right? And there was some program that he used for, fishing for some kind of data or whatever, analytics, something like that. And he found something in it that wasn't secure, right? And it intrigued him, and he got more involved in why this wasn't secure. How can I secure it? And that started his path. That started his path in the security field, because he was trying to troubleshoot the security issue with this program that he was using. And from there, he created a company, and he sold it for, millions of dollars. But it's just interesting to hear that here's this guy who's a fisherman, of all things, right? Literally a fisherman. Think like The Greatest Catch or whatever that show is on Discovery Channel. That's what he did. And then he was so intrigued by the security issue with this program that he went off and just started doing security things full time. And it's just amazing to hear that stuff. There's other people who shared how this one guy got... he's very young at the time. He still is very young, actually. He was doing websites, right? He was just doing websites, helping people out with websites, not as a job necessarily. He just enjoyed it. And he found a flaw in a WordPress plugin. Shocker. It's really no shocker there. And he, found the flaw, emailed the company. There was a bounty for stuff like this, actually, and he got paid because he found this flaw, and that intrigued him even further. He's like, oh wow, I can go out on the interwebs, find flaws within WordPress plugins, and sometimes there's bounties for them and you get paid for them. And then there's other security places out there. There's a website I think that Clint gave me, or it could have been Keith Hoodlet. He was another guy I interviewed, but one of those guys, I can't remember off the top of my head right now, gave me a link to a website that you can go to where they encourage you to try to hack them. Like literally encourage you to try to hack them and find flaws within their systems, within how their websites are deployed, developed, and whatnot. And there's bounties for them. You get paid. You get paid. There's lots of people out there who that's all they do. They go and find all these bounties, trying to find, flaws in code and websites and programs and things like that, and they get paid for them. So, but anyway, that's what this guy did, and then he started working for a company called HackerOne, and yeah, it's just crazy that here's this person who just really has like a low level of web development skills, and he was like 18 or 19 at the time, and then he found this flaw and got paid for the bounty, and then that just triggered him even further. Like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I want to do. I want to do this in the security field, and that's exactly what he did. He's like 22 or 23 right now, making tons of money, which is just ridiculous and absurd, which is great. But that's just one story. There's plenty of more stories really from InfoSec world on how people got into the security field who literally just had no experience at all, who had no formal training, no formal path, didn't work in the IT field, period. They could have been one person was in sales, and I don't remember the story, but I just remember that this person was in sales and went and got into the security field. And it's just like, well, okay, so that means anybody can get into the security field. And that's one of the biggest things that I learned from going to InfoSec conference, because you don't have to be formally trained necessarily. It's great if you are. It will help you even further, but there are ways to get into the security field that don't require certifications, degrees, and even experience. And it blows me away. But it is something that you have to do on your own time to learn, to develop the skills, and find companies that you could work for. And Clint, the interview I did with Clint really goes kind of more into detail on some of that stuff. What you need to know and what path you could take to get into the field. Again, very, very informative. I'm hoping today that I can at least edit it. It's going to take me a long time to edit that video. The video that I'm exporting right now, it's going on like 45, 50 minutes trying to export because it's in 4K. It's just wonderful. And it's only like 14 minutes long, 13 minutes long. Yeah, 13 minutes, 54 seconds. It's taking a long time to export. So I imagine with the video that I do with Clint, we can just like triple that time for exporting and even editing the video. But anyway, that's kind of what was going on. There's obviously more that I want to share about InfoSec World, but I'm going to make real videos for that and not talk about that in a live stream. So if you guys want to talk about anything, ask me anything. You know, now's the time. I'll think of other stuff that I wanted to talk about as we do this. But yeah, if you guys have questions, you guys want to chat, let's talk tech. I wore this shirt and another shirt there down in Florida at the InfoSec World Conference. And if you guys want a shirt like this, merch link in the description. Merch link in bio? Is that what? Kennedy, is it merch link in bio? Both? Okay. It's a Jake Paul, Logan Paul thing. Merch link in the description. I actually put the merch link here. If you guys want a t-shirt, you probably have to refresh the stream to see the updated description, but I put the link in the chat, so there's that. Hopefully that works. I don't think that's gonna work. Maybe it'll work. You guys let me know if that link works. I hope somebody buys the like the yoga pants, because that was kind of a joke. It was really funny. I should sell baby onesies, but I don't think this company offers onesies. I can have this didn't come from there. It came from my printer that I use here that's local. But yeah, that guy can print me out onesies and whatever the heck I want. So Randall asks how you get into InfoSec. Well, there's going to be lots of videos about InfoSec, and I just kind of went over that slightly, so I don't know if you just got here or not, but basically anybody can get into InfoSec. Ash G, can I go to desktop support before help desk as an entry position? So I'm glad you kind of asked a question like that, because that's really funny. So many companies out there, and you'll find this as you get out into the field more, just butcher titles. They completely butcher them, and they don't make sense sometimes, right? So a lot of times what I see, desktop support and help desk essentially is going to be the same thing in a lot of areas of the field. You're going to be doing the same exact things. It's just a different title. So why they do that, there is a few reasons, I guess, behind it, but it's stupid. It's literally stupid. Desktop support, you may consider that more of like a tech position, like a technician, because you'd primarily be working just with devices and things like that. I don't want to go too far into detail with that. Help desk, you might be more on the ticket side, answering phones, answering emails, remoting into people's computers. So there's kind of a slight difference there, but you're essentially, you're going to be doing the same thing. So the title, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. So you have to look at each company, and based on the description of the job, you know, you can compare whether, you know, desktop support might be a position before help desk within that company. But help desk typically is essentially the same as desktop support, and it's entry level. Both of those are entry level, and great ways to start for sure. What's going on, Joe Tito? Yeah, he answered that question for you. Morad. Terrible at names. Yeah, web development isn't going anywhere. Web development is here to stay. Do you need to be good in math to do IT? I love that. Or programming. Joe Tito, how about you answer that question? Do you need to be good at math to do programming? The answer is no. He's not going to answer it. He might answer it. But the answer is no. You don't need to be good at math.
Yeah, because you skipped college, so you're not good at math either.
Yeah, but I don't do jobs where I need to know math. So my daughter's over here talking shit to me. Talking crap to me, sorry. There are some programming jobs where you need some math skills, but that's what calculators are for, and Google. And the funny thing, if you go to college, you're forced to take math classes. So, should be fine. Otherwise, if you're learning a programming language, as you learn, you'll kind of understand what math, if any, is involved in some of those. A lot of the programming languages just have math. Math type of, I can't think of the word that I want to use, and it's going to drive me crazy until I figure out that word, but there's math kind of embedded in how that language works. Right now, I am using, yeah, so Joe Tito kind of answered that question for you right there. Most programming you don't, but there are a lot of programming jobs that will require it. Finance, engineering, rockets. Yes, I want to build a rocket. Yeah, so functions, yep, functions, yep, thanks. Brain fart. So right now, I am going over Python. Started a Python course over on IT Pro TV. Oh, look at that. Uh-oh. That's not right. You can't use that coupon code Ask Me Anything. That won't get you anywhere. Let me put that in there. There we go. So yeah, learning Python over at IT Pro TV, and I'm almost halfway through the course. It's about a 6-hour course, 6.5-hour course. I can actually pull that up for you guys here. And it's going really well, actually. I love the ability. I love that I can make them talk a lot faster, much like you can on YouTube. You can speed things up. I can't talk today at all, but yeah, sorry, it's made things much easier, much quicker too, and I'm able to follow along very easily with it, and I picked up a lot from that course. I think Python is by far the easiest language to learn. I think like a monkey could do it. And that's why I picked that language to learn. I think it'll give you a good foundation of how programming works. And from there, you can take it to obviously another language, something more advanced, Java, for instance. And I think you'd be able to probably pick it up a little bit easier, just having kind of the fundamentals of Python, even though Python is literally so easy. I really enjoy it. But yeah, that's kind of, well, I'm actually going to do some videos on Python. I'm not going to leave it to a live stream because I think it'd just be too absurd. So I'll actually do like a real video on Python, and you guys who are looking to get into programming would probably enjoy that, just because it's easy. Yeah, definitely the most approachable language. Let's see. What is the best way to mention home lab experience about servers on resume while hunting for a job? You won't necessarily specifically put on their home labs. You can just put experience with whatever it is that you're labbing at home, because they will ask you about that. Then they'll say, you know, what is your experience with this, and how did you get that experience? That's when you can tell them, well, at home I have home labs and this is what I do. That gives you the ability to really share a lot of information on why you're home labbing, what you're home labbing, and just the general purpose behind it. So that'll open up probably more questions also, especially since you're learning on your own. They might ask you maybe some specifics to see, like, do you really know what you're talking about? But yeah, anything that I have experience with that's not necessarily job related, where I've learned in a job, I still put it on my resume. And if I get asked about it, it's the perfect opportunity to tell people, like, oh yes, I love to learn. Learning's fantastic. I take my free time and do all these different courses and watch all these YouTube videos and open up my home lab and follow along, practice, break things, try to fix them, yada, yada, yada. So there's that. K, whatever your name there is, I don't have anything that I could recommend specifically on that. I'm sure there's places out there. There's probably YouTube videos on that. Let's see. Trying to look and see if there's, let's see, Udemy. They have courses on it, so that's probably what I would do. Linda has courses on that, and I don't see any more that have courses on that. So that's what I would look at, Linda and Udemy, and see what they have to offer. But I can't make really good suggestions because I don't know. Anyway, let's see. I'm not halfway through the program through the Python yet. I'm almost halfway. I probably got like 2 more courses to go before I'm halfway. Right now, what I'm doing in the Python course is functions. So they're going over functions and things like that, which, again, they make it so easy. That's what I enjoy about this. It's so easy. They make it so easy to learn. So anyway, that's Python. That's what I've been up to when I had free time while I was in Florida and things like that. I just opened up IT Pro TV, followed along with the Python course. You know, half hour here, an hour there, and it's perfect. I'm hoping tonight that I can go over it more. Libraries are going to make functions even better. Yeah, I think they touched on that. I'm not sure. I can't remember. As soon as I start watching it again, like, everything comes back to me. Like, oh yeah, that's how this works. And that's, oh, they talked about that before. I actually started taking notes because I didn't have my notebook with me in Florida. So I started taking notes in Google Docs. I have to move that over to a notebook. That way I retain the information better. That's one thing I always love to talk about. Write everything down. You can put it in a document later, like a Word doc. But I love to write everything down because I retain it. Are there free courses, or do you need to pay always? Well, there's definitely free courses out on YouTube. Lots of people will teach you everything you want to know on YouTube. It's the most valuable free resource to ever exist. Teaching is the best way to learn your experience. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, tons of free resources out there. Just gotta look on the YouTubes. There's tons. But anyway, does anybody else have any more questions about anything want to talk about anything specific, I know I covered kind of what I wanted to talk about. Talked about Facebook, talked about InfoSec World, and talked about Python. Those were really the 3 big topics that I wanted to cover doing this live stream, because I haven't done one in a while. Obviously last week I was gone all week, so it was a little bit hard. I think I did 2 live streams last week. I'm impressed that I even got 2. But yeah. Again, it's all I wanted to cover. So now it's it's all on you guys. If you guys want to talk, if you want to ask me anything, you want me to look up something for you and get back to you, it's all on you. Where's a good place to get supplies to build the home lab? Well, it depends on what you want to do, Ash G. Craigslist will be a great option. I don't know if you have like Facebook groups out by you, wherever you live. You know, like here they call it like spring cleaning type crap for Facebook groups. And those are always good places, because you can post on there like you're looking for whatever specifically. Sometimes people have it, and you can get it really cheap. Virtualization, you just use your home computer. You use whatever you got at home. Pull up VirtualBox. I have videos on that with VirtualBox and virtualizing Server 2016 and Windows 10 and things like that. Now I have to go download the Server 2019 evaluation, and I'll probably do a video on that. See what happens with that. I'm really excited for Server 2019. VR, AR, which is the best one? I don't know if there's necessarily a best one. I guess, why do you ask that? All depends on what you want to do. So anyway, if nobody else has any more questions or wants to chat, this is all I got, guys. Like I said, I covered what I wanted to. So AMA, ask me anything, or let's chat about something. Otherwise, I have videos to edit and more people to email and catch up with. Terrible. Like I said, that's all I did yesterday was catch up on emails and Facebook messages with my other business stuff. A lot of people have been, I need to really say that. A lot of people have been messaging me on Facebook, and they ask such complex questions where it takes me a lot of time to answer them sometimes, and then they have more questions. So I can't do the Facebook messages things anymore with this stuff, because the time that it takes to talk with people, and a lot of people are not very pleasant, let me add. So if I don't respond right away, they get upset. If it takes me a day or 2 to respond, they're all mad about it. And it takes a lot of time to try to reply back to everybody, especially with the amount of information they're wanting from me. So I put up like a, what do you call it? Like an automated response. Facebook IT mentor, gosh no. I can't do it. I literally can't do it. I had this conversation with Duan Lightfoot actually the last 2 weeks ago. Said, dude, I get so many messages on Facebook and I cannot answer them all, so I have to cut it off. You know, I said I'm done answering Facebook messages, because if I were to answer the Facebook messages that I get every single day, I'd be tied up for at least a couple hours, and a couple hours is a lot of time. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. It would literally take me a couple hours, because they just want to keep asking questions. And a lot of times it's like, I have videos on this stuff. You don't have to message me on Facebook. Go through all my videos, and I'm quite certain you will find your answer in one of my videos. You know, a lot of times they're like, what's the best path to take? Well, that's all on you guys. I can't tell you what the best path to take is. You might be interested in something completely different than what necessarily the best path would be. And if you take what the best path could be, you might regret it. Jason, hey man, love your content. Just landed in your first IT role. Congratulations. That's awesome. Level 1 help desk. Thanks for all your help through your videos. You are very welcome. Congratulations to you. That is very, very exciting. Definitely excited for you. It's always a good feeling when you land a role that will definitely help you with your future, and it's something that you're interested in. So keep on working. Get yourself out of the help desk as soon as you can. It's possible. It's easy. Get all the experience. Offer your assistance all the time. Take notes. And work on certifications to advance you to where you want to be. But yeah, definitely a great thing. So congrats again. Anyways, it's like I said, I'm gonna say it like for the last time, I guess, because it's all I got. Covered everything I wanted to. We'll do head in the books time. Yeah, definitely head in the books. Or YouTube videos, whichever works best for you. Books work great for you, then get in those books and get to where you want to be. But yeah, anyway, like I said, that's all I really wanted to cover today in this specific live stream. I'm going to try to do another live stream tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll be able to. All those videos on YouTube, like I've been in help desk for 4 years. Yeah, if you've been in help desk for 4 years, that's on you. It has nothing to do with anybody else but you. That is your responsibility. That's your fault. You've been in help desk for 4 years. And if they're upset about the fact that they've been in help desk for that long, yeah, you're the only person that can fix that. You're the only person that can make your path better. So if you're, and I've seen some video where a guy's just like complaining like so bad about being in help desk for a long time, and he didn't necessarily do anything to advance his career. He just figured, well, okay, I'm gonna work in help desk and then I'm gonna have this experience and that's gonna take me further. And that's not, this could be the case, but that's not always the case. You have to show what it is you're doing to advance yourself, because if you're working help desk for multiple years for the same company, especially, that's bad. That's very, very bad. That's not going to get you anywhere, because you're pretty much doing the same thing for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever it is for that same company. So you need to move around. You need to get more experience other places. So sometimes you have to take a lateral move. What I mean by that is you're working help desk a couple years at one place, and then maybe you're not able to advance because you don't have the experience, maybe because you aren't studying for certifications, but you take a lateral move to another company, working help desk, but this other company does things differently. They have different technology there, so you learn different things. And sometimes lateral moves can be okay. 2 to 4 years, AskG. AskG says, what do you think the acceptable time to be in help desk before you transfer to a higher position is? 2 to 4 years. 2 years if you are really taking the best effort to advance yourself, getting certs. I mean, it could be less than 2 years if you are actively involved in getting more knowledge. Really within like the first year of working help desk, if you're working in a company that has many other facets to the IT world, they have system administrators there, they have network administrators there, they have a security team there, maybe they have developers there. Within that first year, you're working so much with everybody else and you're seeing what everybody does. You should have a great idea of what path it is that you want to take. So start in help desk, and like I said, I've said this so many times, it's like a broken record, but start in help desk, and you might think after you work help desk, like system administration is the route that you want to take, and that's where you want to go. But once you work help desk for a year, you find out that, well, system administration, it's not for me. But network administration, that's something that I think I would enjoy more. And that's when you kind of start taking those paths to certifications and really trying to dig deep into what it is that you want to do. And that is like huge knowledge right there. That's like a huge thing. That's why I always tell people, work help desk. You get that experience, which is huge, and then you get that background on what other IT positions do, what might fit you more. I don't know how many times I've seen people graduate college who specifically went like maybe a networking route, and they got some networking certs to go along with it, and then they get into the field. It's just not for them. It's not what they enjoy, and they work with a system administrator and like, man, I want to do that. I like that more, or security, whatever it is. You know, that stuff happens all the time. Jason, you think you caught a lucky break as the company I'm joining is smaller and smaller up-and-coming company. Apparently the role involves multiple areas of the business. So when I get in, I'll start asking the questions. Yep. Ask all the questions. It's better to ask more questions and get all the knowledge that you can and understand the way that they do things than to not ask a question because you think you know what you're doing and you think you know this is the way things should be done. And that's just not the case, you know. You have to ask questions. It doesn't make you dumb, doesn't make you any less valuable. It just means that you're getting all the information that you can. ASG thought that he wanted to be a network admin, had a change of heart. See, it happens all the time. All the time. I thought that I wanted to be a system administrator. I still would and could because I enjoy that side of the career, but there's other things that I want to do that don't fall in line with system administration. And that's just based on, you know, the way IT is working in general. Is it better to be at a small company if you're going to help desk? Not necessarily. It really depends on the type of person you are, I think. And you can't really judge the type of person that you are, and you can't judge how the company works as a small company. But large companies, if you can get a help desk there, there's typically so many different people working in the IT department, and they're all doing different things. When you work help desk, you really get a lot of knowledge, and if you try to talk to all the other people in your department and ask them if they need help, you can get more experience that way in the different areas that they're working in. Smaller IT company or smaller companies that have an IT department, they might have, you know, only a few people, and their system administrator might also be their network administrator, and that happens frequently where there's one person who takes on multiple roles. So smaller companies, you're going to find a lot of variety there on how things work. The larger companies actually will have a very structured IT department. Or again, smaller companies, you have one person who's a jack of all trades or a Zach of all trades. Sorry, excuse me. Jason says you get past probation, then barrage of requests to look at different areas deeper. Are you network admin? Then start finding out about the security, as ultimately that's the end goal. Yep. And I kind of covered earlier that you don't necessarily have to have experience in the security field to get into some of the aspects of security. It's really, really funny how that works. And the interview videos that I did at InfoSec World really go into detail about that, and just blew me away. Nathan, I think I scroll up here, it says, is Python just learning commands, or is it really a language? It is a scripting language. A plus pun. Yep. So that's that. I don't know. Any more questions? Otherwise, I got lots of stuff to do today. Lots of stuff to catch up on still. Being gone for a week really set me behind in a lot of areas. So I have so many videos to edit, it's ridiculous. I need to hire somebody to do my video editing again. I'm trying to hire somebody, find somebody who would be interested in managing all of my social media for me, because I have lots of ideas with what I want to do on social media. I don't have the time, and that sucks. Like I literally do not have the time to manage the social media stuff like I want to, you know, and that's Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn, like all of those things. Like all of those platforms react so differently from one another that you really have to have a plan in place on how to utilize each one of those platforms. And again, I don't have the time. So I posted on Facebook the other day, like, I need help. Who wants to come work for me? And I even like made like a little job application thing, like a job description. People can apply for it. And then people message me. It's like, no, don't message me. I don't want to talk to you about it right now. You actually need to go and apply. There's a process involved here, people. That's funny. I'm getting marketing emails from Malwarebytes now. It's like, no, guys, no, don't do that. I'm gonna have to email this lady back. 1 second, Ash G. And Jason, you are welcome. Anything I can do to help, I'm always happy to help. Yeah, here is that link. That's funny that, oh, PC Addicts, what a jerk. What's going on, PC Addicts, you jerk? Did you fix my iPad for me yet? MDM administrator? You're the coolest mobile device administrator I know, Chris. Anyways, I guess that's all I got for you guys today. So I'll end this live stream, and hopefully tomorrow we'll do another one. I kind of want to do another one at night, so I might try to plan that one for a nighttime live stream. 404. How is that even possible? Let me. Yeah, why is it giving a 404? You're in the break room watching? I mean, I gotta go. I got stuff to do, bro. Should have been here earlier. Eric wants to know what I have to do. Well, I have to take care of a baby, and then I have a bunch of videos I need to edit, and I have a bunch of emails I have to reply to, So there's things I got to do. And I've already been live streaming for like 45 minutes. I covered all the topics that I wanted to talk about. What? Why is it doing that? Let me, I'll shorten the link. That would probably help. Paste a link to shorten it. Let's see if that link works. And Jeremy was to ask, why did the chicken cross the road? I don't know why. Yeah, probably to get to the other side. I would imagine. You guys are so clever over there. How's Chris doing being the mobile administrator, mobile device administrator? Is he doing a good job? Is he keeping up with things? I hope he's keeping up with things. Shorten link worked. Yeah, I don't know why that's doing that. It's kind of weird. Well, that's the only answer that you're going to get from me. YouTube is picky on some of the links. But I shared a long link earlier and that worked. Where's it at? This one. The t-shirts. T-shirt link worked and that was kind of long. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got. So you guys have a wonderful day. Chris Davis, you have fun managing iPads. I hope it's going swell and fantastic. And for everybody else, take it easy. Have fun doing whatever it is that you do. And that's it. Have a great, wonderful day.